The appetizer this time comes from New Orleans. Chef Christian Gille presents a simple but effective rendition of Gulf shrimp, Provencale styled, with Pernod. Then Jean-Louis Palladin cooks the entree from Las Vegas, seared antelope with rhubarb 3 ways, in the sauce, as a puree, and sliced and poached in syrup for garnish. Finally, from Phoenix, Arizona, Vincent Guerithault offers a crepe souffle. The filling is a combination of pastry cream and egg whites infused with lemon juice and zest. Christian Gille was born in France and at 14 apprenticed in Morocco. After a stint with a cruise liner, he cooked in Paris, the Middle East, and the West Indies. He came to the States in 1982, and at the time of this taping was at the Westin Hotel in New Orleans. He goes to his roots with shrimp Provencale. The chef will sauté the shrimp in butter and olive oil. The shrimp were peeled, except for the last tail section, deveined and butterflied. Salt and pepper. Chopped parsley. Garlic and shallots, followed by tomato concassé. The last flavoring is the licorice-flavored aperitif from France, Pernod. A pan sauce is made by adding more butter.
Et voilà.
Jean-Louis Palladin was a national smash at his namesake restaurant at the Watergate in Washington, D.C. Now he's joined the star chef exodus to Las Vegas at Napa in the Rio Suite Hotel. He also has Restaurant Palladin in New York at the Time Hotel. His main course is seared antelope with rhubarb.
I'm going to do now a loin of antelope from San Antonio, Texas. It's a farm called Broken Arrow Farm, who is doing my venison and antelope for, I believe, the last 15 years. I'm going to do the antelope with a fresh rhubarb. The fresh rhubarb is a winter fruit vegetable, and I'm going to use the rhubarb to do a puree, to do some slice around the plate, and to do the sauce. That's what I'm going to do now. Here, I got some rhubarb syrup. I made it with a simple syrup and a lot of rhubarb. And here I got the veal stock, who is going to make me do the sauce. Antelope, just salt and pepper. I marinated the antelope about 2 hours ago with some thyme, bay leaf, to give some more taste, and foie gras fat. Okay, I got the piece of antelope which is ready. Now I'm going to do my 3 different kind of rhubarb. What I want some for the sauce, to give the sauce the taste of rhubarb, like that. That's for the sauce. Now I need to do a puree of rhubarb. And after that, I want to do some slice. I want to do some slice to garnish around the plate. The first rhubarb for the sauce with some of rhubarb syrup. Just going to reduce it. The rhubarb gonna cook, and we're gonna pass that on a blender. I cannot cook without it. The sauce gonna be like a gastrique in France. We use, when we do different preparation of fruit, we do the gastrique with sugar and little bit acidic. We do that with some fruit, some acidic fruit, and rhubarb is very acidic. That's why we cut with the syrup. Here I'm doing the sauce. That means I'm adding the veal stock, and let it reduce. And here I'm waiting for the puree to have the rhubarb cook and to put on a blender. Here I'm doing some slice to put around the venison, the antelope, when it's finished. You need to be very careful because the rhubarb is cooking very, very, very fast. Or you don't want to do a puree on this one. And you're gonna cook it again with the rhubarb syrup. But very slowly, because you want to keep all the slice on the same shape.
To recap, The pan to the chef's left contains the slices for garnish. The pan in the middle will be blended as a puree, not shown in this demonstration. And the pan on the right will also be blended as the sauce. The latter contains more veal stock.
What I'm doing now, I'm going to cook the antelope about just medium rare, a little bit of foie gras fat. You want to give a nice color on the antelope all over. Okay, now we have everything. Up. The rhubarb is practically cooked, just 1 or 2 more minutes. I'm going to drain them, to drain the slice. On a towel. And arrange the slice around the plate. Gonna give a beautiful, beautiful color. See, you arrange like that because also the taste is very important, but the eye is also important when the dish arrives on the table for the customer. What I'm going to do around on the middle of the plate, I'm going to use the puree. That's the puree. The sauce was strained and just ready to go on a plate, very hot. When we ask the customer if he want medium rare, we cook it as they want, as they like. And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna put that on top of a towel. Like that, we don't have any fat anymore. And just cut it. It's between medium rare and rare. And we just finish it with the sauce. Bon appétit.
Vincent's on Camelback in Phoenix is a destination of the cuisine of French-born owner chef Vincent Guerithault. He came to the States in 1993 at the behest of Jean Bauchet at the Great Le Francais near Chicago. He moved to Arizona in '79 and offers this dessert, Lemon Crepe Souffle.
We have 2 cups of cream, 2 cups of milk here.
The chef starts some pastry cream.
We're going to put half the sugar here, and the other half of sugar we're going to put it right here. We're going to put the egg yolks with the sugar, the half sugar, and we're going to stir that to make sure we don't cook the egg yolks. We're going to cut that vanilla bean, we're going to cut it open this way so we get all the flavor, all the little seeds. We're going to put that with the milk. We're going to put the flour right here. So we're going to bring the milk to a boil, and then we'll put a little bit of milk here just to temper those egg yolks and sugar and flour mixture, and then we'll cook everything back into the milk until it boils again, and then the cream will be ready. So we're going to put a little bit of the milk right here.
The primary difference between pastry cream and a custard or sabayon is the flour. Note how quickly it thickens here. It's taken off heat and cooled.
The crepes can be done ahead of time, and what you could do is you can put them, separate them with a little square of parchment paper like this. So, and you can freeze them also. You freeze them, and the only thing to do is just to let them at room temperature, and they come off very easily from the paper. The next step now is to give the flavor to the pastry cream. We're going to put some lemon rind that we have here, a little bit of lemon juice. I'm going to take that vanilla bean out. It's always a good idea to save that. We can put that in a jar filled with sugar and save it for next week or tomorrow when we need some more pastry cream or some. All right, we have that mixing the pastry cream with the lemon juice and the rinds here. I'm going to add some more. With a brush, we're going to butter the bottom of the tray here. Okay. And we're going to put some crepes right here. We're going to serve 2 crepes per person here.
Sweetened egg whites are added to the pastry cream.
Now we're going to fold those egg whites very gently here with the mixture, the mixture of the pastry cream and lemon. And we're going to put a little bit of the mix on a crepe. And we're going to bake that for about 5 minutes in the oven at about 450, between 450 for about 5 minutes. All right, let's check on those crepes. Wonderful, look at this. Wow. A little bit of powdered sugar here.
Raspberry puree and creme anglaise garnish.
Well, we could do a little bit of raspberry sauce. Here we go. Bon appétit.